Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, family. Good morning, future grandbabies. I hope all is well with you today. You know, we're going to talk about mistakes. How we all make mistakes. Some of them can be detrimental. Some of them can be, life-changing. But we make mistakes. The important thing about making these mistakes is ensuring that it's not something that follows you for the rest of your life. In short, mistakes are really learning experiences. And that's what we all should be doing, attempting to learn from the mistakes we make. We go through life making decisions. Do I make a left turn? Do I make a right turn? Do I eat chicken? Do I eat steak? And those decisions don't necessarily require you to have to, think about the future. But when you're on a motorcycle, every decision you make requires you to think about the future, the next move. It's like chess with yourself, I think that people need to understand that when you're out here riding your motorcycle, it's not one of those things where you can just say, it's all right, I cut that guy off, or, I came mighty close to that guy, but he needs to slow down. No, you gotta learn to take care of yourself. Those mistakes can make you lose a leg, lose an arm. It can be very detrimental to yourself. And so all of this is about learning from your mistakes. Think about the things that have happened to you in your life. Think about the things that you've done to this point thus far. If you've been fortunate enough to make it into your 50s or 60s, think about the life lessons you could teach others, right? As you move forward, as we get prepared to go home, so to speak, right? So think about those things, about learning life lessons and what you could teach to others. It's a blessing to be able to get on a motorcycle. It's a blessing to get up in the morning. It's a blessing to drink cool water, have a roof over your head, food in your stomach, But you had to learn life lessons to put you there. Don't let mistakes govern you. Also, don't let them define you. Your mistakes are not who you are, Don't go out here acting like a maniac on your motorcycle and all this other stuff. Don't let that define you. Be sturdy and steadfast in what you decide, but learn from it. That's what the point is. Put on my wetsuit. Then I got to thinking about it. You know what? I'm just gonna change my helmet and then I'm gonna ride out and take my time to get home, just to be safe. Had my day at work, I'm back. One of the things I have to worry about, me personally, is riding angry and being clouded. Because, I'm out there to clear my head. But when I get angry, somebody cuts me off or whatever, it's a losing battle. It's something you always have to fight. Riding a motorcycle isn't always about looking cool. Sometimes it's about surviving. Sometimes it's about making it to the next day. That means respecting the road and respecting the machine. Quite honestly, the mistakes that I've made, me personally as a rookie rider for touring bikes in 2024 and 25, I would say are the ones that were simple. They weren't major ones. I didn't cut anyone off in traffic. I didn't, run up on someone's bumper like I was invincible. It was simple stuff, man. Maybe not clearly checking a blind spot and was like, whoo, I'm glad I didn't get hit. Or, maybe I didn't do a pre-check or something that I should have checked on my bike, like the tire pressure or something like that. Luckily for me, I came back from that. I've learned in the last 15 months that I can change behavior, I want to be more careful. I want to make sure that I recognize the right to everyone's
everyone's right to be on the road, right? I've told you about upgrades I've made on my bikes, like lights or some auxiliary lights and things of that nature. I've watched safety videos. I've actually watched seasoned riders. Shout outs to Rob Simmons, Doodle on a Motorcycle. I don't know these people personally, and I will, tell you that I learned from watching their channels and practicing and applying some of the techniques that I've seen them use. I ride offensively, defensively, and what that means to me is, I ride to get out of people's way, to get away from them, right? So if I get in a batch somewhere, I try to be my defense is to try to get away from all of that. And I just try to make sure I survive the moment. That's because, experience isn't just miles on an odometer. It doesn't mean just because you got 10,000 miles that you know what you're doing. I got one bike in here with 10,000 plus and another one with 15,000 plus. And in 15 months, I've been honored by seasoned riders by being called a ground pounder because, I'll break a state line and hang out and go do whatever. But I would be honest and remiss if, I didn't be honest that, that doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter. I still require work, My philosophy is if I mess up and I survive it, I'm not getting ready to do that again. Listen, every rider makes mistakes, right? It's what you do with them that counts. You can either ignore them or you can shape them to mold your mental, your emotional state, your abilities to become a better rider who lasts out here, who rides smart and is aware, and always has the ability to learn from each and every ride, right? In short, mistakes don't make you less of a rider. Refusing to learn does. You know what it is. If you got yourself a motorcycle in the garage collecting dust, pull it out, dust it off, gas it up, and enjoy the ride.